good. Double check. Yeah. Oh. I just want to keep an eye on the health. Cool. That's got it. That's got it. That will have multi-chat, which I can read. Okay. Nice and easy. Do I want some music? Is there any royalty-free music I can find? That's a real question. Let's see. Royalty-free chill background music. Is there one just like really long one? There's so many which are like 1 hour. Why do we not get longer ones? Okay, that shouldn't be too loud. Sweet. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, if anyone is wondering, as the name, well, stream title implies, I just wanted to chill out and do some art, so it's kind of what we're doing today. And I realized as well that I haven't really done any art on this channel before, but to give you an idea, all the thumbnails and the banners, icon, all that stuff, that's just stuff I've done to kind of give the channel something. But yeah, I just want to chill out, draw a little bit, doodle, all that good stuff. So probably not going to be anything too crazy in terms of what I'm doing. That's kind of how I like it, yeah. Nothing too crazy, a little bit of relaxed vibes, all that good jazz. I do try to have the chats open so I can see if anyone's asking any questions or anything. But yeah, I figured, hey, it's a Sunday for me. I want to chill out. So this seems like a great idea. I really hope this thing doesn't have ads during it. I just got like a random YouTube playlist that I found for just some background music, because I was like, I don't really have anything. I like listening to music while I draw stuff, and I just like, oh, apparently I've listened to this one before. Didn't know if it had ads or not, so I just, you know, roll with it. I don't even know what I'm drawing at this point. So let's go with a theme. What have I been messing around with drawing lately? I'm just gonna write what the theme is on here so I can remember it. If I can spell correctly, that'd be great. Kind of been messing around with tech, like just technology stuff. That's very hard to read. Wow. Okay, let's try that again with a smaller brush size. This is just to keep myself on what I'm doing, because otherwise I'd be going all over the place. Technology, anatomy, because I have been messing around with trying to figure out how to draw anatomy of different things. And yeah, I've drawn a few of these lately. And that should work. So yeah, we're just gonna rock with that as the theme. Could be kind of fun. Yeah, let's grab it. Let's lock that layer. Grab another one. I think part of the reason why I've been messing around with technology is because it is like building basic shapes into something. I have drawn a box. Now, what to do with said box? It actually doesn't look quite right. No, this side's higher than that side. Why is that? Okay, I've drawn a very confusing box. That's what I've done. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Okay. Yeah, I got that roughly, very roughly drawn out. I'm just gonna mess around. It's kind of the nice thing about. Nah, I don't think I'll start with the cube. Let's start anatomical. Why not? It's a nice thing about trying to draw technology-based things. You can either start rigid or you can start with something biological. Okay. Before anyone asks, this is an eyeball. The other kind of nice thing with a lot of art, especially if you want to start making it look like it's got more depth, is it's literally just all about curves. Like if you add in curves in particular areas with straight lines close by, it looks like there is way more depth. The other thing as well, by just like using not entirely straight lines in certain areas, you can actually end up making something look way more rounded than it actually is. The trick is to make sure you're following a particular direction, and that when you get to something like this, it is actually a straight line. Otherwise, it won't work. It's like here would be a straight line. The trick is the more you move away from that central area, the more it curves. Cool. Yeah, thanks for that. Love it. Just completely lost Wi-Fi for a second there. I love that. Why did I just completely lose internet connection there? That does not make any sense. Yeah, well. Guess it's just the day of internet fighting me. But hey, it is what it is. The more I look at this, the more I'm like, it's not quite an eye anymore. Actually, no, I'm gonna get rid of that. I don't like that anymore. Ah, well. Okay. Start with a nice simple circle. Because I kind of want to do something... Actually, wait, what was that thing I was messing with yesterday? Even better, let's start with a square. Because I think what my plan is... I'm gonna have something coming in like that, come around the back. It needs to curve more this way. Extend that out a little bit so we can get a bit more detail in there. There we go, that's something. Kind of want the what I got going here to contrast the what's going on in the center. I don't know, I just feel it could be fun. Is my bitrate actually cooperating now, or am I going crazy? Yeah, Wi-Fi is unstable, you don't say. Weird. Actually, let's extend that down a bit more. That's a weird ass song. That is not chill and relaxing. Okay, let's see if I can find something else music-wise that'll be better. Overwrite free background music, maybe that'll give me something. 12 hours? Yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, cool, advertisements, love that. Just waiting for that skip button to come up, come on. Skip button. Oh. Hmm. I mean, hey, I guess is what we're just gonna. We'll give it a minute. See if it is anything decent. If it is, then hey, sweet, we've got something to listen to. If not, then I'll try to find something else. But hey, it could be the vibe. You never know. Hmm. So far, not bad. Okay, so kind of what I'm thinking, and this is just me randomly thinking as well. I kind of want to do a mix of things here because, like, yeah, I've always want to do a theme sort of thing, but I'm thinking in this wave section, what I want to do is I want to kind of combine data streams. I want to combine nature in the sense of, like, you know, flowers or plant life, things like that. So I'm just going to try and plan some of that out while I'm at it. Maybe have like some of it growing onto this. A little bit of moss, I don't know. I'm literally just trying to have fun with this. Now clover, if I remember correctly. Go something like that. It's kind of the best thing about art, even when you got like a theme in mind, you can interpret it in so many different ways. Try to remember, does it have like, yeah, those divots? Yeah, just something like this. Something nice. The one 4-leaf clover in amongst all the 3 leaves, I don't know. Kinda like that vibe. Yeah. Funny thing is, I could be doing some like art for the channel, and I did actually thinking about. I did think about that for a hot minute, but then I was just like, I just want to draw. Doesn't matter if it's for something or if it's just like, you know, something a little bit of fun. I just want to draw. Just realized that Clover was looking a bit phallic. So let's get rid of that one. No, I need to put that more on its side. That's too far to. Yeah, there we go. That's better. I might do this in, like, do multiple things. You know, one part of it could be and one part of the stream could be just focus on this, and then I don't know, maybe one part will actually be doing something for the channel. Who knows? I usually just go with the flow, see what happens. It's more fun that way. Let's turn the opacity of that bad boy down. Yeah, this track is much more chill. Kind of glad that I did find something a bit more chill in terms of music. Hmm. God, I'm working with some way smaller sizes than I thought I would be in terms of the pen. Because I kind of still wanted to find, you know, that there is this gap here, but we don't want to distract too much. Yeah, that's great. I don't know. I might come back to this idea later. My brain is very much not focused on what I'm doing at the moment. It's going all over the place. What was I thinking about with there's something I was thinking about and I've already forgotten it. Let me see if I can find the thing. Okay. Hmm. I don't know somewhere. I don't know where it went actually. What do I got? Yeah, let's have a little bit of fun with that. Go back to the red pencil for a bit. So I would be there. I would be there. I don't think I put that nose in the correct spot, but let's consider it somewhere. I made it worse. Okay, now let's just do this the way I usually do it. No, I just don't go away. Love those advertisements, they're so great. Okay, actually, I kind of want to see if I can do that. Yeah, no, this probably isn't the way people like to draw. heads and everything. It's just the way that I start figuring out where I place things. Crazy thing I've been seeing is a lot of people are like, oh, don't draw the like line down the center and, you know, the sectional cross mark for where you'd put the eyes. Which is weird. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what everyone does. It's a quick little reason why I'm doing this. So that'd be about there. Trying to get them to look roughly the same, because yeah, you kind of do the whole thing of there's multiple ways to do it, but sometimes I'm like, you know, I could just draw one half, copy, paste, flip. But no, I'm not going to be that lazy. Well, this time. I've done that before. So if I'm looking at front on, try to line that up a bit better. At this point I am just redrawing part of the channel icon, because well, I kept looking at it and I'm like, I don't know, I feel I could do better. Also, whenever I look at it as well, I'm like, I feel I can make it look more realistic in a way. It's like the whole idea behind it, I drew inspiration from things like Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, classics. Really good series too. And the more I like saw things of theirs, I was just like, okay, there's some parts of this helmet that don't actually stack up. Like, you know, this part here, cool and all, but it might be too sharp of an angle. I don't know. I'm just gonna draw and see what happens. See, the cheekbones go kind of in from this side. Kind of looking at is something like that, more or less. Yo, potato! Didn't you know good at that? Cheers for that, potato. Yeah, so basically, I don't like proclaim myself as good, because I kind of look at it as I'm still trying to learn different aspects. But yeah, when it comes to like things like the icons, the thumbnail pictures, all that sort of stuff, if there's a drawing on it that is just me trying to quickly do something. I've done a few different styles and things, so this is really just me messing around and having a bit of fun. like trying to follow the cheekbones and stuff on my own face. Like, okay, which way does that go? But hope your days are going good, potato. So I forgot that there. Still kind of want to keep that because that makes sense when you actually look at the chin on something. Like actual form. Yeah, that's better. Gotta try and make it look good. Because I don't know, maybe some of the stuff that I'm doing here might become the icon or something. Still, like, one of the things I want to do at some point with this. So I want to be able to not only draw the full version, like a full body version. Gotta go, sorry, I just want to stop by and call you good at that. Cheers, potato. Have a good one, homie. I kind of want to do a full body version at some point, but at the same time, I'm like, I've got to figure out the finer details before I actually do that. By finer details, I mean I need to really learn anatomy. But yeah, I appreciate you stopping by, potato. Honestly, I think if I curve the edges of that, it looks a little bit easier. Because yeah, in my mind as well, the reason why I want this to be, you know, achievable and look like it could be something people, someone could wear is at some point I want to try freaking making this with 3D print. Oh, but you stay for 10 minutes? That's dope. But at some point I do want to try and make this like a potential 3D print that I do. Because that could be cool. Like bring the channel mascot to life in a way. Okay, let's just erase that. Yeah, okay, this is starting to make more sense. Just want to block this out a little bit. So what I want to do is I kind of want to make it believable, but also look decent. Yeah, part of that is adding in ventilation areas. 3D print a mask, that'd be awesome. Yeah, currently I have, sorry, Bamboo Lab. This is an A1 Mini. It's really good, like in terms of price and, you know, setup and using it and everything. I've been messing around with 3D printers for quite a few years now. So part of like my idea with the channel was eventually, you know, I want to 3D print the mask. So that's why even the initial icon, I tried to make it look believable. But hey, there's always more work to do. Okay, and then tries to look at this and we're going, you know, straight on. Kind of cover part of the side, so that kind of more go like this. How long you been streaming? Today, probably about 40 something minutes. I was just messing around with some sketching earlier, and then I was like, I don't vibe with the idea, so it's just like, you know, let's just go back in and redesign the mask, which is basically the channel icon at the moment. Like, not full redesign, just make it a little better, a little bit more believable. So yeah, I haven't been live that long in the grand scheme of things, honestly. I'm seeing a problem potentially here. I want this to kind of line up, so perhaps I have to do something like this, give it a bit more depth, but also really show that those parts are a little bit in. Hey, Potato Kid, how you doing? Welcome on in. Actually, I think it'd be kind of cool. Is definitely not a I summoned a Potato Kid. I just saw that. But yeah, I'm trying to think of like ways that could make it work. Let's actually add in something like this, but make it kind of cool at the same time. Okay, and then what if we do like a I'm trying to think, like in this section here, I'm just gonna draw a thing here. Kind of want to do a little hexagonal grid, something like this. And the reason why is because in a lot of 3D printing, and even in nature as well, hexagons actually provide a lot of structural support, which is kind of cool. So I don't know, something like that. So if I was to translate that onto this, that's the tricky part to figure out now. Let's see, 1, 2. Okay, we got 1, 2. That'd be, yeah, there we go. Now I figured it out. Give myself a starting point. And as well, that looks better than just like random vent slides and stuff. Story about Potato Kid. We were playing Minecraft. His dog was attacking my dog. Oh my god. He just killed my dog because it was attacking his dog, so I nuked his builds. That sounds like the standard escalation of what happens in Minecraft. Like, not gonna lie, that's a pretty standard progression. That's why there's like always unspoken rules about, you know, certain people's bases or things, you know, what you do not do, because that starts a war. Yeah, that actually looks, that actually makes more sense too, because that real life PT dub, jeez. Yeah, in a way. It actually makes more sense having that as the hexagonal grid, and then we can just like do a little bit of light color over that. Now, do I just want to keep it smooth on the front, or do I kind of want to do something like what the Red Hood helmet has? I have a like really old 3D print that I did of a Red Hood helmet, which at first I was like, you know what, I might be able to wear it. Yeah, turns out I got my measurements wrong. Now it just sits on my shelf. Kind of works as a way to see where, you know, certain fold lines would need to be for it to come forward a little bit. Kind of glad I still have this hanging around. I think I'd be confused otherwise. I think I really want to mess around with this part here. Because it needs something here, but I don't think it should be like a solid block. Oh, I did. Jeez. I did read it. I was just trying to process it mentally, and then I was like, I don't know how. So then I just started drawing and thinking about the drawing again. Okay. It kind of works like that. This is the tricky part, because like a lot of the helmets and helmet designs have a really defined point. Actually, for the front, where it goes in front of the chin, but half of those are uncomfortable as hell. And I want this to be a design that I could potentially wear, so you know. The other thing is, I may need to just like actually, I wonder. Because this is just the sketch layer, and the plus side is I can just make mistakes and then erase or redraw part of it. It's kind of the nice thing about art, you know? Let's redesign that part in a minute. Cheese potatoes. The two of you just like randomly putting the laughing in there. God damn. Okay. Well, that's way too sharp of a. that actually, this is looking like it's making more sense. Might extend this part up a little bit. But at least it's... The potato mafia never fails. Oh god. Okay. So that would, if I'm thinking about this correctly, where this is positioned, kind of come across the ears? Yes. I thought that was basically like a Scooby-Doo laugh in the chat there for a second. Yeah, that kind of across under where the ears are. That works. That looks nice. Real part that I kind of want to mess with is this. Because at the moment, part of it fits in with the visor, but the other part of it, you know, doesn't. Wait, what if I... This is a crazy idea, but it could be kind of cool. It could go kind of hard, not gonna lie. Building in any sandbox game just makes the time not work. Honestly, like, there's so many times where I've played sandbox games and just like, oh, this will only take a few minutes, like, I'll be able to do something, and then fucking 5-6 hours pass, I'm like, oh, time doesn't exist. Yeah, that's actually looking a lot better. Let's straighten that line a bit, because that one... Yep, no, that was a good idea. That does look actually kind of sick. Starting building in island and Terraria, then made houses, then hanging houses. Damn. Just, yep, no, I feel that. That's generally how that sort of thing goes. I must want to like... Yeah, something like that. That looks nice. And let's just redo this part because I want to, and I want to make it look good. Okay. That is base sketch, so now drop the opacity and draw over it a little. my kind of thinking with like this sort of piece that goes around and down is it's kind of like a sunglass frame in a way, just minus the bottom part, or like a glasses frame where it, you know, frames where the visor would be and it would still have a way to connect into the actual helmet. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. Because again, I would want this thing to actually be comfortable to wear, and I do not want to be having to deal with some annoyances. Use this to help line it up a little bit. I don't need to worry about it there. I just need to make sure I get my angles right in a couple areas. Yeah, nah, I like doing my sketches in multiple layers. So if I start in red, I usually go to blue, and then if I want to do line work after that, I then go to just a simple black pen. And as well, I'm going to end up having to put some blue coloration into this when it's done, because that is actually one of the channel colors. Is like, I've got two different blues. I've got a sort of muted almost navy or steel blue, and then I've got one which is more towards the vibrant sort of near turquoise blue, like teal. I don't know, I think that's the word I'm looking for. But yeah, I like doing at least 2 layers of sketching and refining. Because then it gives me a chance to double check my ideas truly work the way I'm thinking. Thinking you're just not talking, but it paused. Oh no. That's a rip there, bud. Okay. That works for the visor. Cool. So I can erase some of those lines. I wonder if we could do like some comic book cell shading on this at some point. I probably could. Okay, so what I want to do is make sure that these points line up. So I'm just going to draw some lines. Yeah. Because, you know, it's meant to be a frame for the actual visor. Always love drawing, never can make it look good though. I don't know, it's always the tricky part. Like I love drawing as well. I love drawing a wide variety of different things. One thing I've always found, particularly for me at least, when I'm doing something, is I usually just like try drawing as many different ways as possible to figure out, you know, how do I want it to look, and then when it comes to making it look good, I feel it's very subjective. Because like, we are our own worst critics and everything. Unfortunately, the human brain is designed that way, to be an absolute pain. But yeah, I got to the point where I'm like, I don't know if I'm good at art and things, but I've had people around me like it, and you know, after a certain point I just kind of went, you know what, I'm gonna figure it out myself. And that's how I started learning different parts of art and design and all these different things. Is that gonna be in the center there? Yes. There we go. As well, I think the annoying part with, you know, trying to make art potentially look good is, and this is just kind of how I feel with some things, it's really trying to find the balance between the design, the colors, and the sort of vision you have in your head, because the moment one of those goes astray, the moment it becomes more difficult to figure out. And my grandpa gave me my brother 2 old thingies worth stuff, and my brother got some old Marvel comics he sold. Oh, $2 bills, one with a red stamp. There's a lot of money, but get to like a grandson. Damn, selling the old Marvel comics though, those had some insane artwork in them. Like, not even just because I think it was like when back then, that's when they started trying to, you know, find that style. I only got $100 for them. In my honest opinion, sounds like he got ripped off. Because a lot of old Marvel comics, like if we're talking relatively decent condition, you can go for a fair bit more these days. Yeah, like it is interesting as well when you kind of look at how comic books have changed over the years. There's points where it's like being so stylized and everything that it looks a little off compared to what we're used to. But there's just something fascinating about it. Horrible, nasty, oh, coffee all over them. Ah, yeah, okay, that makes more sense. But yeah, no, I feel it is fascinating looking at comic books and, you know, how the art styles have changed, how the stories have changed. Also, if anyone tells you comic books aren't political, they're clearly not reading comic books. Those things have always been political statements. I'm sorry if that bursts someone's bubble, but that's how they are. I still want to do something with like the lower chin section here, because like, I don't know, it just does not suit. Actually, what if I just do the simple thing, brain, and don't over fucking complicate it? I'm already gonna get a bigger fish tank soon. Hey, nice. Did break my bowl, damn. That doesn't work. Why don't they keep this part of the friggin' helmet design simple? Like a massive fish tank? Hey, that's dope. 1.8, damn. Gonna have the whole fucking aquarium in your room. It's gonna be SeaWorld up in this bitch. Start charging people. You gotta go? That's all good, potato. Take it easy. hopefully you have a good one, and see you next time, whenever that is. Okay. So like, while I'm drawing the head part here, I'm like, oh yeah, keep it simple and all that, and then my brain just goes, the amount of heat that gets trapped in the upper area of the helmet, like, there needs to be something in the design that makes it not a literal nightmare. So I don't know, maybe part of it in the design will just be like including vents, or just like a section at the back where it's more of this pattern in here, so then that way, you know, it's not suffocating. I do kind of like this a bit more. Like, yeah, channel icon is what it is. I like it. I like the design, but I'm also like, part of me needs to make that design better. Do I have a line tool in here? I do. Dope. I'm just realizing how crooked that is. Especially right here. Okay, so let's undo that. There we go, that looks a little better. I think it's gonna look crooked until I remove the sketch underneath, maybe? Yep. Okay, yeah, the sketch underneath was messing with me a little bit. I was correct. I feel like that needs to be... Actually, now that I look at this with a proper straight line, that does not seem like it is wide enough. So this one, I might have to break out the curve. Just a slight bend. That's better. Yeah, see, that makes way more sense. Like, that actually gives that section some... I was gonna say some girth. Don't know if that's the correct terminology or answer, but who knows. Yeah. That looks better. Okay. Wait, is that? Damn it, that side's higher. Let's see, can I just... What the opacity of this layer? Oh, it's... So I wasn't going crazy. This is... Definitely not. Wow. Okay, you know what, we're doing this the... We're doing this the lazy bugger way, as I like to call it. So we're going to erase up to this line. And we are only going to draw half of this because I want it symmetrical. Okay, that works better. Yeah, there we go. Much better. Okay, again, part of this I could literally just do with... I don't need multi-curves. I could do the continuous curve, you know, actually make use of the tools that are on my blooming screen. Nope. No, I'm gonna do that in parts of the curve, make my life easier. Yeah, it's better. Yeah. See, this is benefits of straight line and your curve line tools. The crazy thing is, by redoing the channel icon like this, I also run into the thing of I would then have to redo my background as well, but I'll do that eventually. Yeah, if it's not a today problem, it's an eventually problem. Let's check this down to 0.5. Yeah, that gives me that sort of depth that I wanted with it. Nice. Okay. Control C, Control V. Then we do the lazy thing. Edit. Transform. Flip horizontal. See, this is what I say to people. Sometimes if you want something done symmetrically, you draw half of it, copy, paste, flip it. Make your life easier. Work smarter, not harder. I also do believe that, you know, with enough practice, I could get things symmetrical, but I'm not there yet. A while off that. And I'm just going to merge that down. Let's erase these bad boys up here. Beautiful. That makes way more sense just looking at it now, honestly. I almost wonder if I should have done the same sort of thing here and actually like had the diagonal line. I kind of feel like I should. So you know what, we're gonna correct part of this. Because looking at it now with that in place doesn't quite work. So by doing another diagonal around here, it looks a bit better. But that also may mean I had to do that over here too. You know, just in case, we'll get ready to do that. We'll do one. Yeah, it doesn't have to be anything drastic. Just 0.5, yeah? Yeah, that makes way more sense. Why didn't I think of that to begin with? Love it. That's way better. So now what I want to do is want to bring this out a little bit more. So I don't know, maybe about, actually let's already do this section. Cut that about there. Okay. Nice and easy. Do that there. I'm going to go to a straight line 1. That makes way more sense. Why didn't I do that to begin with? Let's just erase some of this. I did that on the slide, didn't I? Shit, I did. Only trouble of working on digital. Sometimes you forget to switch layers. There we go. Okay, now Control C, Control V, transform, flip that bad boy. There we go. Yeah, that makes way more logical sense. That's better. Now I'm thinking about how the hell do I draw that from the side? And like, how would I kind of like... It's a... Now that I look at it, it's a mix between like Kamen Rider, Helldivers, and a few other things. Kamen Rider, Helldivers, probably a little bit of Halo play thrown in there, even though I haven't really played Halo before. Some people are not gonna like that piece of information. Yeah. Let's just get rid of these layers. So yeah, I like this more. This is nice. And I don't know, maybe we have to redo some other things here. Like this would be kind of what I consider the base for. Yeah, actually, while I've got this on another layer, what I'm thinking, and this is just me thinking, is what if, because on the channel icon there is a section which flows around the back. What if I do something like this, where it's its own sort of section, but this part down here still connects into it, so could be something like that. Just kind of want to visualize it first before I commit. I mean, it'd kind of work. But then it would also look like that front mask section is goggles. I don't know. I'm going to do now, I'm just going to leave that there because I want to test this idea properly. Let's just turn that off for now. I'm just going to draw a bunch of straight lines. Nothing too crazy. The reason why I'm doing this will make sense momentarily. Okay, that is in line with that, so I don't have to worry about it too much. These parts I will definitely have to worry about. That should be in line with that. Okay. I think that's all the points I need to worry about. There is a reason I was doing that. Because now that I have a front view, I can work on a side view. And also, don't mind me just trying to move so I don't end up with a friggin' lobster back. As per usual, start sketch with a circle. There's probably way easier ways to draw a profile after a front-on view. I don't think of them. That'd be kind of like where the bridge in the nose is, because it's near where the eyes are. And, you know, part of this is literally designed to sit over most of the nose and over the eyes. And you kind of got to think, you know, that's that. Then head would be something like this. Ears would probably sit around here. The jaw would connect up there. So that'd be the back. Okay, right. There we go. Okay, now this is making structural sense in my brain. Okay, so got that curve going good. I'm trying to kind of plan it out like a motorbike helmet first, because it gives me way more insight into how things look. Yeah, that should be enough room. Okay. So one of these kind of goes like this, one of these goes like this, and the reason why I made sure to draw those lines going through, so I could really kind of see where things go on a side profile as well, because the side and the front always going to look a bit different. Oh, I'm noticing these don't line up. Okay, so I need to draw that on more of an angle. Cool. Yeah, something like that. Mm-hmm. This goes forward like this. And then it goes up on an angle, out. That is what I wanted to make sure of. This needs to go out. And then center line should be there. there. Let's try to keep this in line with this. That works. Okay, so that's the visor, which, looking at this realistically, with the rough idea of how motorbike helmet works, that gives me enough room there to not worry too much. Now the real trick is for the side here, so kind of comes down like this, and then like this. Yep. Then that has to be somewhere around here? Question mark? That really doesn't give me much room to work with. Okay. Unless I do the smart thing, build this out a little bit. Yep, that should be in line with that. And I'd have to do it in line with this, and then it... Yeah, that works. Because yeah, I had that moment of realization of, you know, if it doesn't sit in line with this, that's a gap, and that gap can be a nightmare to deal with in terms of designing. So by putting it more flush with this point here, from the front, yes, it would look like this, but from the side, it would have that more, like, I don't know if pronounced is the right word for it, but I think that's the right word for it. So then what we do is this. You can see now why I wasn't sure about what to do with the chin section here. I mean, it kind of works though, in a weird way. So this one's got to be in line with that one up there. Oh, perspective messes with your brain. If I do it like flat and then curved. Yeah, that works. Trick I'm seeing now is this part. Because now this isn't on that much of an angle. So I might need to redo this. Okay. So it needs to go there. All need to meet about here. But then again, side profile is... Okay, then that needs to go up. Okay, I'm just going to erase part of this for a minute. Hey, I'm trying to think about this logically while I'm also frantically trying to figure it out in my brain. Because this goes back on a... I'm still thinking front on where it looks like it goes back on an angle. That goes straight back. That ends about there. But then it has to... Huh? Maybe I did this sizing wrong. Let's bring it back a little bit. Yeah, okay, making it larger on the side view makes way more sense. Beautiful. Now that's taking shape. Okay. I really do have to redo that part. Shit. Okay. I'm just gonna erase this. Because, you know, I got the initial frame of the face where I need it. And worry about the rest of it in a minute. The rest of that can be a problem for later. So I think what I did wrong here, not necessarily, yeah, not as a bad thing, but I don't think I have that part quite correct. So what I'm going to do is that, because this needs to slide forward a bit. Because the top point of the chin is there. So I'm almost wondering if, you know, that kind of shape makes more sense. I feel like it does. Okay. And that comes down on that angle. And then it goes back. Okay, so like this needs to go up somewhere around here, maybe? So then we go back there. So I think it kind of needs to go like that. I feel that's how that's meant to look. Because then this starts a little up from here, about halfway, but it's in line with that. First guess. in line with that. And then it... Okay, now that works. Jeez, that was a head scratcher. Why was that such a head scratcher? Like, I legitimately have no clue. And again, that's what happens when you haven't done side profiles in a while. Sure, let's go with that. Okay, now the back of this. I mean, kind of works. I'm probably still getting my proportions wrong though. I feel like I'm still getting my proportions wrong. That could also be my mind messing with me because it is a whole bunch of lines. And again, I am trying to kind of keep that motorcycle shape. Okay. Because, like, hey, if I wanted to, you know, actually 3D print this and make it a proper helmet, all I then have to do is add in a little piece. Kind of goes down here like this. Because then that adds a bit of protection at the back of the neck. Probably actually be more. Oh, I did probably want it down there? Yeah. Like that. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Cool. That makes more sense in the brain. That's not quite the right. There we go. That's what I was missing. Okay. Now, this is part of the reason why I hid that layer. So, what I'm thinking, you can kind of see here, it comes back like this. Because like on the other helmet design, we do have a bit of color that goes all the way around. I don't think I want it to go all the way around. Unless what I do is something like this. Hmm. I mean, see, this is the difficult part. It doesn't look bad. I don't think I want it to go all the way around. I think I want it to be part of this. Maybe the reason why I don't want it to go all the way around is because It still needs that. It still needs that other part. It's like what I'm thinking is it would come up into something like that. Which almost looks like a wing. And we could do that. Or I could do something to a point. I don't know, I just kind of feel like the side view, if you're not looking at the very front of it, kind of boring. So I'm trying to add something to spice it up. Make it interesting. I mean, okay, yeah, now if I did that, that really looks like I'm wearing gold. That looks like goggles. Don't want to be a Digimon protagonist. Okay. I'm kind of vibing with this. But like feel this should maybe come up a little bit more in the actual like helmet. Because I mean, by doing this, we can have this here be, you know, one color, this can be another color, and then this can be its own color too. It still gives us that kind of separated colors. I think this works. This sort of design here. Yeah, it kind of matches the whole flow I've got going over here. So okay, let's just try to do that. There we go. Thankfully, to make this look like it's always been here, easy as hell solution. Okay, so it kind of comes from about here, goes back here. Realizing my mistake in hindsight. Should have started on a new layer. Yeah. Is that also thinking about logically, this part would go over where the ears are, so, you know, makes sense to have something like that. Oh. Where did that come from? Okay. There we go. Oh. Now if we merge that down. Yeah, that kind of gives you the idea that something else is back there, so it makes more sense. Don't need that. And I don't need that. So this one now we can change to that. Cool. No, not quite. Not quite. Yeah, that looks much more believable. Dang it. Okay, undo that part real quick. Yeah, there we go. Okay, got the curve. About there. Yeah. There we go. I didn't line that up. Much better. And then that goes like that. Nice. Get that curve. No. There we go. Oh, it's not quite right again. This is the annoying part. I think my perfectionist tendencies start to kick in. There. Stay. It's a little over. I had to deal with that. Why did I just do this? There we go. Okay, now should be able to. Nope. So it doesn't get it. There we go. Hmm. Yes, that works. I think as well by giving it that a little bit of space there. That would, if it was actually a mask, give space for the nose, give space for the mouth, and having the two vents on the side would make things a lot easier. Was I draw those in? Yeah, may as well just do it. Yeah, there we go. Dang it. No. There we go, merge those on the same layer. Now we have a front and a side view. I may do more on this another time because it is way too freaking hot. I am gonna go chill out and probably edit a video later because it is too dang hot in here. Yeah. Thank you everybody for coming through, chilling out. And I guess I'll catch you guys in the next one.